Hare Krishna, all my dear students. I am Dr. Bikram Prasad, Associate Professor in SIRT Excellence College, Bhopal. Today we are going to study precipitation and rain gauge. So, what is precipitation? All forms of water falling from the atmosphere to the earth. It is expressed in terms of depth to which rainfall water would stand on an area if all the rain were collected on it. In case of snowfall, equivalent depth of water is considered as depth of precipitation. So we can see here that precipitation is calculated in terms of depth. So the unit will be centimeter or millimeter. Rain gauges are used for measurement of precipitation. There are different forms of precipitation. First one is rain. The term rainfall is used to describe precipitation in the form of water drops of sizes larger than 0.5 mm. The maximum size of a raindrop is about 6 mm. So we can see here, if the size of the water droplets is between 0.5 to 6 mm, then we say it as raindrop. So here we can see this is a raindrop, and if the size of the raindrop is between, if the diameter of this water droplet is between 0.5 to 6 mm, then it will be called as rain. And drizzle, a fine sprinkler of numerous water droplets of size less than 0.5 mm and intensity less than 1 mm per hour is known as drizzle. If the diameter of the rain of the water droplets is less than 0.5 mm, it will be called as drizzle. Snow, when fresh snow has an initial density varying from 0.06 to 0.15 gram per centimeter cube, and it is used to assume an average density of 0.1 gram per centimeter cube. Hail, it is a showery precipitation in the form of irregular pellets or lumps of ice of size more than 8 mm. Sleet, it is frozen raindrops of transparent grains which form when rain falls through air at sub-freezing temperature. So rain and drizzle are water droplets, and other snow, hail and sleet are the pieces of ice. Mechanism for air lifting. तो हम लोग यहाँ जानते हैं कि जो इवापोरेशन से जब वाटर वेपर बनता है तो वाटर वेपर ऊपर एटमॉस्फेयर में जाते हैं, उसके बाद वो क्लाउड फॉर्म होते हैं, क्लाउड फॉर्म होने के बाद कंडेंसेशन प्रोसेस होता है, फिर उसके बाद जब क्लाउड हैवी हो जाते हैं तो फिर वो प्रेसिपिटेशन होते हैं. तो एयर लिफ्टिंग के लिए 4 मेथड्स होते हैं. तो फर्स्ट वन इज साइक्लोनिक प्रेसिपिटेशन. इट इज काउज्ड बाय लिफ्टिंग ऑफ एन एयर मास ड्यू टू प्रेशर डिफरेंस. So we can see here in the figure that low pressure is created between the surrounding atmosphere. So due to the pressure difference, the vapor rises and forms the cloud. Second is convective precipitation. It is caused due to the upward movement of air that is warmer than its surroundings. So here we can see it is the warmer air rises up as the surrounding airs are heavier, colder than the central air, so it rises and forms the clouds. Third one is orographic precipitation. It is most important precipitation and responsible for most heavy rains in India. It is caused by air masses which strike some natural topographic barriers such as mountains and can't move forward, hence rises up, causing condensation and precipitation. So here you can see in this figure, the water vapor comes in contact with this mountains, and in this area there is a heavy rainfall. Similarly, in this leeward area there will be less rainfall because most of the vapors will form, condensation will take place here, and the rainfall will occur in this part. For example, you can see Cherrapunji is a place where this kind of this orographic precipitation occurs. Similarly, now fourth one is a front. A front is the interface between two distinct air masses under certain favorable conditions. When a warm air mass and cold air mass meet, the warmer air mass is lifted over the colder one with the formation of a front. The ascending warmer air cools adiabatically with the consequent formation of clouds and precipitation. जब वार्म एयर और कोल्ड एयर आपस में मिलते हैं तो वार्म एयर जो है वो राइज हो जाते हैं अप और जो है क्लाउड फॉर्मेशन होता है. Here we can see in the figure. After the rising of the warm air, then cold air also get the chance to rise up and forms the clouds. Now, what is condensation? It is the change of water vapor into a liquid. For condensation to occur, the air must be at or near saturation in the presence of कंडेंसेशन न्यूक्लियाई. तो यहाँ पर कंडेंसेशन होने के लिए हमें एक कंडेंसेशन न्यूक्लियाई की जरूरत होती है. तो कंडेंसेशन न्यूक्लियाई आर स्मॉल पार्टिकल्स और एरोसोल अपॉन विच वाटर वेपर अटैचेस टू इनिशिएट कंडेंसेशन. डस्ट पार्टिकुलेट्स, सी सॉल्ट, सल्फर एंड नाइट्रोजन ऑक्साइड्स सर्व एज कॉमन कंडेंसेशन न्यूक्लियाई. साइज ऑफ एरोसोल रेंजेस फ्रॉम 10⁻³ to 10 mm. प्रेसिपिटेशन फॉर्मेशन. तो हम देखेंगे कि प्रेसिपिटेशन कैसे हो रहा है. तो बेसिकली यहाँ पर जो है वाटर वेपर आया है, इवापोरेशन से वाटर वेपर बन गया है. हियर वी कैन सी इन द फिगर. वाटर वेपर बनने के बाद वो वेपर जो होते हैं वो न्यूक्लिएशन प्रोसेस होता है. जो वेपर्स होते हैं वो कंडेंसिंग स्टार्ट होते हैं टाइनी सॉलिड पार्टिकल्स के, जो जिसे हम एरोसोल कहते हैं, उसके कांटेक्ट में आते हैं. तो फिर जो साइज होते हैं वाटर वेपर के वो बढ़ने लगते हैं. जैसे यहाँ पे देखेंगे ड्रॉपलेट साइज इंक्रीजेस बाय कंडेंसेशन एंड सिमिलरली इट गोज टू राइजेस अप एंड बिकम्स वेरी हैवी. जैसे वो हैवी होता है तो फिर वो डाउनवर्ड्स पोरिंग स्टार्ट हो जाते हैं. जैसे बहुत सारे जो ड्रॉपलेट्स होते हैं जिनके छोटे साइज होते हैं तो वो इन बिटवीन ही इवापोरेशन होते हैं और अगेन वो राइज हो जाते हैं. और कुछ जो है ड्रॉपलेट्स वो रेन की तरह थोड़ा नीचे जाते हैं, रेन ड्रॉपलेट्स की तरह. और कुछ जो है कभी कभी जब साइजेस बड़े होते हैं तो स्नो या हेल भी हो सकता है. Now we have known the precipitation. Now we will read how to identify how much precipitation occurred in this area, in particular area, or how the scientists are calculating. So the instrument used to measure the precipitation is called rain gauges. Basically there are two types of rain gauges which are recording type and non-recording type. In recording type there are three types, basically weighing bucket type, tipping bucket type, natural siphons type. And in non-recording type there is only one, that is Simon's rain gauge. Basically from the name we can see that recording type, that means the recording goes simultaneously. जैसे रेनफॉल होगा साथ साथ में हमारा रिकॉर्डिंग स्टार्ट हो जाता है. और नॉन रिकॉर्डिंग टाइप में वो एक्यूमुलेट हो जाते हैं, जो प्रेसिपिटेशन है वो एक्यूमुलेट हो जाते हैं, उसके बाद फिर हम उसको रिकॉर्ड कर पाते हैं. तो फर्स्ट वी विल स्टडी अबाउट नॉन रिकॉर्डिंग गॉज. सो दिस इज द फिगर, यू कैन सी the dimensions. This is 127 mm. All the dimensions are in mm. So here is the funnel. Through the funnel the water or the precipitation comes downward and then it is stored in the collecting bottle. Thus the dimensions are mentioned here. This is extensively used in India. The accuracy is 0.1 mm and the timing at which the recording done is generally every day at 8:30 am we do the recording. The capacity is 10 centimeter. In case of heavy rainfall, intermediate readings are taken at 5:30 am. During that period, two readings are taken, one in the morning at 8:30 am and one at the evening at 5:30 pm. Now tipping bucket type, that is the recording gauze. Here you can see in the figure, this is the circular collection. Rainwater comes and this is the funnel, and through the funnel water goes and it is stored in the measuring glass. 30.5 centimeter size as per US Weather Bureau. Water collect from tip bucket to storage tank. Least count of 1 mm and gives out 1 electrical pulse for every millimeter of the rainfall. And it has a electric circuit. So the recording is done for every 1 mm. It gives out 1 electric pulse. So from the electric pulse we can calculate the depth of precipitation occurred. Next is weighing bucket type. It consists of a storage bin which is weighed to record the mass. It weighs rain or snow which falls into a bucket set on a platform with a spring or lever balance. The increasing weight of the bucket and its contents are recorded on a chart. The record shows accumulation of precipitation. So from the figure we can see this is the funnel. Rain water comes in this direction and it comes in this collecting bucket, and this is the balance linkage mechanism. Through this balance linking mechanism the weight is done. We can see that extension spring is here, and from the pen arm the readings are done. This is the chart. In this chart the readings are we can see the readings. The last third one is the float recording gauge. The rainfall collected by a funnel shaped collector is laid into a float chamber, causing a float to rise. As the float rises, a pen attached to the float through a lever system records the elevation of the float on a rotating drum driven by a clock. So here we can see this is again the same funnel. From this funnel the water comes, the rainwater comes in this direction, and from the funnel it is stored in this is the filter. From the filter it is stored here and it comes in the floating chamber. So when water comes, water is stored, this float rises up. When it rises, there is a pen which note down the movement of the float and it write down the precipitation occurred. A siphon arrangement empties the float chamber when the float has reached a preset maximum level. This type of rain gauge is adopted as the standard recording type rain gauge in India, and its details are described in Indian standard. So through this siphon, when this gets filled, automatically through this siphon this chamber is emptied through this siphon chamber. So the water comes out through this and it is ready for the next rainfall. Now rain gauge network. Since the catching area of the rain gauge is very small as compared to the aerial extent of the storm, to get representative picture of a storm over a catchment, the number of rain gauges should be as large as possible. There are several factors to be considered, like economic consideration and topography and accessibility to some extent. So रेन गॉज नेटवर्क, तो हम देखेंगे कि कोई भी कैचमेंट एरिया है तो वहाँ पे स्टडी जब हम करते हैं तो पर्टिकुलर रेन गॉज क्या है, बहुत डिस्टेंस पे होते हैं, तो हमें जब भी हमें स्टडी करना है पर्टिकुलर कैचमेंट एरिया में तो हमें ज़्यादा मैक्सिमम रेन गॉजेस होने चाहिए जिससे कि हम एरर मिनिमाइज कर सकें, हम जो है स्टडी बेटर तरीके से कर पाएँ। अगर रेन गॉजेस बहुत दूर दूर पे होंगे तो वेरिएशंस आएंगे प्रेसिपिटेशन, क्योंकि रेनफॉल हम देखते हैं कि हर पार्ट में एक जैसा नहीं रहता है। दूर दूर में होंगे तो यहाँ पे रेनफॉल का डेंसिटी कुछ अलग रहेगा, दूसरी जगह पे अलग रहेगा, इसलिए मैक्सिमम हम चाहते हैं कि रेन गॉजेस ज़्यादा हों जिससे कि हमें जो रिजल्ट मिले वो एक्यूरेट मिले। Minimum density of a rain gauge is according to IS 4987-1968. In plains, 1 station per 520 km square. Regions of average elevation 1000 meter, 1 station per 260 to 390 km square. In predominantly hilly areas with heavy rainfall, 1 station per 130 km square. And out of that, 10% of total rain gauges should be self-recording rain gauge. Adequacy of rain gauge stations. So how to calculate that how much number of rain gauges should be there in a particular catchment area? So we will find out the number of n stand for number of rain gauges is equal to Cv upon E to the power 2, that is whole square, where Cv is the coefficient of variation of rainfall based on the existing rain gauge stations, and E allowable percentage error in the estimate of basic mean rainfall. So how to calculate Cv? For calculation of the Cv, first we have to calculate the mean precipitation. Mean precipitation is the summation of P upon N, where N is the number of rain gauge existing and summation P is the total rainfall, and that is summation of their normal annual rainfall values. We have to find out the mean square, mean of square, that is summation of P square upon N. We have to calculate the standard deviation from this formula, N upon N minus 1 bracket closed, P square mean minus P mean square, and from that we can calculate the coefficient of variation Cv, that is 100 sigma upon mean precipitation. So from the example we will see how to calculate the adequacy of rain gauge or number of stations required. So this is the example I have taken from Subramania book. A catchment has 6 rain gauge stations in a year. The annual rainfall recorded by the gauges are as follows. For a 10% error in the estimations of the mean rainfall, calculate the optimum number of stations in the catchment. तो इस क्वेश्चंस में हम देखेंगे कि स्टेशन हमें 6 स्टेशंस दिए हुए हैं और वहां पे रेनफॉल दिया हुआ है आपका इन टर्म्स ऑफ सेंटीमीटर. दीज आर द वैल्यूज गिवन इन टर्म्स ऑफ सेंटीमीटर. सो वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट द ऑप्टिमम नंबर ऑफ स्टेशंस. कितने नंबर ऑफ स्टेशंस होने चाहिए. So first of all, before calculating any question, we must write down the given quantity. Here we write down m is the number of rain gauge stations available, and p bar is the mean precipitation we have calculated by adding all the rainfall and divided by total number of stations. So summation p upon n. Here it is, n is here is 6, m is here 6. So we have calculated this p bar, that is p mean. Similarly, we have calculated standard deviation, which come out to be 35.04, and E, the error value has been given, that is 10% error is estimated. So we have calculated coefficient of variation, that is 100 into 35.04 upon 118.6. So the value is 29.54. By using the formula n is equal to Cp upon E whole square, we have found out 8.7. So that is comes out to be 9 stations. So the optimal number of stations for the catchment is 9.